Hi, this is Bob Roepke. We're back at Christmas in May and just wrapping up here. And last person, but
Yeah, always
maybe
the last. That's the last guy to get interviewed.
but a key guy that important to these kind of projects, the mayor of Chaska, Mark Windschitl. And Mark, you've been involved for a number of years now with this, and just talk a little bit. And you talked as part of the program. Just talk about what this Christmas in May means to the community.
I just think that it's an amazing program. That the fact that, if I understand it right, Christmas in May was a national organization, and there's very few left. And for our community, our size, that continues to do that, and we're in our 25th years. I think that's the most amazing part. And we've talked about it, and we're just having a little conversation before we went on live here, but that our numbers are down a little bit. But obviously, it's different times and things like that. But we have had such tremendous turnouts of such different organizations. I mean, we've always had the football or baseball team be part of the program. A lot of high school kids come in and do it. Church groups come in and do it as part of their community service projects that they have to do. I mean, we've had union groups in here at different times. So it's amazing the cross of people that we have, and as I have the opportunity to always address the crowd, to look out and see the familiar faces is really amazing. But then another part of it is there's a lot of city employees that come on a Saturday on their own time,
right,
and do this project. So there's just so much pride in what people do, and Luke probably said it the best when he spoke here today about how you feel when you're done. You have all these chores at home and you don't want to do them, but you're willing to go out and do them because there's a lot of people there, and you know that you're helping somebody that can't do those projects.
Right.
And it's such a good feel. He even teared up talking about a lady that they helped put a bathroom that she had to crawl on her hands and knees to go upstairs, and they put one downstairs for her. I mean, I've been able to see that where we've gone. So my job as being on the food committee, one, I'm assigned a house, but I also have the ability to get to every house, and I get to see the recipients of these, and they're so grateful that it's unbelievable. I met one of them today, which I had not, but she came up and introduced herself, and here it was Ralph Doolittle, that used to be a city lineman for our city, and she's still living in the community. She said, "I've been here."
This was Julie?
Julie,
Yeah.
And so, because she came up to me and she said, "Yeah, I've known you for a long time," and I had no idea. And then she told me who she was, and I went, "Oh, Ralph." Ralph was a great guy. He was always so fun when I was working for the city. We crossed over with, and Ralph was one of the really fun linemen. So it's fun to see that, and that people are still here after all these years.
Yep. And isn't it neat when we were talking about this with other folks here this morning, but that people that have their homes worked on, they show up the next years to help others.
I talked to a lady that we ended up with a little extra surplus of food this year, and the lady was up there, and she said, "Can I take some home?" I said, "Absolutely." And here she was a recipient from 5 years ago, and she's here working. And we've had a lot of them that have come back that are able to do something and come back and help these other people now that are in need. So I think it's pretty cool. That's the cooler thing, because I kind of talked about, when you see these young kids here and with their church groups for their public service hours, that you hope that that just gets instilled to them.
Yeah,
they see this
absolutely.
I did that when I was younger, and that was a lot of fun, and I want to come back. And we probably haven't been doing it quite long enough that we can track generations of that to doing that. But it's very fun.
And when the football team is here, and the fact that they're here and they're spending the time, maybe some of that rubs off. So later in life, that as they're raising families, I mean, it's kind of instilling values of giving back to your community.
Absolutely. I mean, you just think about the football team. They've had a game last night. Obviously, it was a pretty. They won
handily,
pretty easily. But still, the fact that they're here at 6 a.m.
Right.
And kids after a football game don't want to get up at 6 a.m.
No.
So the fact that they were here in that big a group, I was surprised. I took a picture with the coaches in it, and it was a big group of kids. So that's really great to see. And like I said, that's the thing. They come here and they see that people are having fun and enjoy themselves, and you just hope they come back and do it again.
Yeah. This really does, I mean, based on all your discussion here this morning, it does define community, doesn't it? It does kind of is an event that defines Chaska and what it's all about.
And like I said, the fact that we're still doing it, I think, is who we are.
Yeah.
Is the fact that we do it, and generally, it's not very hard to get volunteers to do this.
Yeah.
More times than not, we have more volunteers
Yeah.
than we have work to do.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing, but it's a good thing because that many people have the interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that does really label who we are, that we talk about, we want this to be a community of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And there are people that, and obviously everyone wants people to stay in their homes as long as they possibly can, but you just hit a point that it's just not always possible to do that.
Right.
And this is where a group like this that can come in, and the other thing is what it does is it spurs other things. Well, maybe we can get the veterans group to help or something.
Yeah.
That there are other ways to help folks
Yes.
on a regular basis.
Right.
So
Right, that's exactly right. And you've been involved in the food committee and distributing food and putting this together in terms of the morning and the breakfast and then getting lunch out to the sites and that starts early in the morning too, right?
well, we start early. We generally, there's a couple households that really heat up the sausage.
Yeah.
But that usually starts about 3 in the morning, so get up and get the sausage going. This morning it wasn't my turn.
Yeah.
So, but we get up and get that going, and then we're down here at like 6:30 and getting all set up. But Cindy Shallow is really the boss of the food.
Yeah.
And I mean, she does all of the organizing. She gets all the food picked up on a Friday, and gets it out to like us. But now all of our food that we distribute is right here this year. Normally we have to run to the school, but now with football and everything going on, their coolers are full. So
Okay.
So luckily we're able to use the coolers here.
Cool.
And then
Right.
so what we do is we have a light breakfast. It's kind of an odd breakfast. It's sausage, fruit, and
Rolls.
donuts.
Yeah, donuts.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
And we have enough coffee to feed an army, thanks to Dunn Brothers. Mike Dunn is great about donating coffee.
Yeah.
And then at lunchtime we get sandwiches from Deli Express in Eden Prairie, the old Stewart sandwiches.
Yeah.
For us old folks that know what
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is.
Right.
So we still we get sandwiches, and then Cindy goes out and buys treats, candy bars, peanuts, energy bars, and we'll take that to the site, water, pop, whatever, and have all that stuff on site. So
Nourishment for the workers. Yeah, it's good you mentioned Webb and Dunn Brothers. So
Oh,
it's good.
yeah,
I
no,
appreciate
that's,
that because they've delivered.
he's given us coffee,
contribute for years.
for a lot of time. And we
Yep.
keep telling him, cut back. We don't need so much coffee. We feel bad that we can't. I don't drink coffee. That's for old people. But I don't drink coffee.
That's not an election year, so we don't.
That's my typical.
Yeah,
He
right,
says,
right,
"You
right.
want coffee?" I go, God, no. That's
Yeah, right.
Oh, the looks I get from people.
Yeah, right.
Some laugh, others look at me like,
They
"Ooh,
roll
who are
their
you?"
eyes and
Yeah.
wonder what the heck.
Oh, well.
Well, thanks for being part of this. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for your words and support. Without the city's support, this would be difficult to make happen because the city is, also on that critical path of making this
Well,
work.
I mean, if you really look at that, like Matt recognized Brian Jung. I mean, he lines up and gets us all.
Oh,
We got
absolutely.
all the city trucks available. We got Bobcats available. We got
Yeah.
some dirt, some
Yeah.
wood chips. We
Yeah.
got all this stuff available at our fingertips.
Yep.
And you're right. If you didn't have that kind of support from our city staff, and I mean, with our energy department, we can, as part of what we have to do about rebating, we can put brand new appliances in these homes. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, the city cooperation is really.
Oh, it's critical. It's so important.
Critical to this project.
It's
'cause
making a
If
difference.
we did it as individuals, we couldn't do what
No.
we do. I mean,
Yeah.
we'd be painting houses and maybe doing some shrub work
Right,
that
right.
people could haul, but otherwise, not bringing in mulch and rock and
Right.
sand and all the
Helping
stuff
to
that
make that difference.
I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
They've done roofs, and we've had city crews go over and pour concrete on the days before.
Right, right.
So it's the city involvement is really
really
definitely
significant.
critical.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's that's part of that thing about community, and
Yep.
people see those city trucks out on a Saturday and they go, "What? That's not city."
And people showing up and just dedicating their time.
Absolutely.
You know, after they put in full weeks, and that's just so
Yeah.
cool.
So
Well, they've turned the lights out on us. I think they're delivering a message, so probably telling us to wrap up and go out to the sites or whatever.
last time
Thanks,
that turned
Mayor.
the lights on me was a long time ago.
Yeah,
In a
right.
different location.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's
All right.
it.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.